Thank you
what is
so
this?
much xQcl xQcl.
Sign up for a 30-day free trial at audible.com/HAI and get a free audiobook plus 2 free Audible originals. Everybody makes mistakes, and remember, corporations are people too, therefore they too make mistakes. Blockbuster turned down the chance to buy Netflix, KFC opened in China and mistranslated its...
Wait a minute. Blockbuster laughed at us, Netflix co-founder.
STFU.
Wait, couldn't they like ruined Netflix though?
KFC opened in China and mistranslated its finger-licking good to eat your fingers off. And American Airlines, American Airlines sold the infamous, unlimited, lifetime AirPass? 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 You know what, let's just call it the AirPass. You see, in the 1980s, American Airlines had a problem. They didn't have any money. At the time, the airline crucially needed money, as years of research, trial, and error had concluded that the Pratt & Whitney JT3D, JT8D, and JT9D turbofan engines used in their aircraft would not function without fuel, which costs money. Now, people respond to not having money in all kinds of different ways. Some file for bankruptcy, some steal a loaf of bread, some start a semi-satirical educational YouTube channel, but American Airlines decided to respond with something truly drastic, offering this unlimited lifetime air pass. The idea was simple. When the pass was first offered in 1981, it cost $250,000, and you could spend an additional $150,000 for a companion pass. So if you bought both, you were looking at a total of $400,000. With inflation, today that would be around $1.2 million. In exchange, you got unlimited free first-class travel to anywhere in the world on any American Airlines flight for life, and with the companion pass, you could take anyone you wanted with you. It could be your friend, your spouse, your friend's spouse, a stranger's spouse, a stranger's friend's spouse, or Bill Clinton. 28 people took American Airlines up on the offer. Now, 400,000...
Wait, how many?
Bill Clinton. 28 people took American Airlines up on the offer.
That's it!
Now, $400,000 may sound like a lot of money, especially for 1981, and to be fair, it was. With inflation, it's enough to buy 138,771 Chipotle burritos with guac, or to buy just under 0.9% of this weird, drippy, swirly painting of nothing. But even though $400,000 is a lot of money, soon American Airlines discovered that they had made a terrible mistake in their pricing. They had offered people far too good of a deal. See, the unlimited passes
what is this clip?
Buffet. All-you-can-eat buffets make money because even though people could eat 50 lamb chops in one sitting, eating up all the buffet's money,
I was talking about this.
That nobody will actually do that because it would be, you know, gross. American Airlines did the same thing. They assumed people wouldn't use the pass too much, but they failed to consider the super travelers. Super travelers like this guy, Stephen Rothstein, who did the flying equivalent of going to an all-you-can-eat buffet and eating 50 lamb chops, 80 steaks, and an entire trash can full of mashed potatoes. Stephen Rothstein, a Chicago investment banker, bought the unlimited air pass in 1987. Over the next 25 years, he would use the pass to book more than 10,000 flights. That's an average of more than a flight a day. He would fly to London to get lunch with a friend, or to Boston for a baseball game, then back home for dinner. Sometimes he would fly to Providence, Rhode Island just to get his favorite sandwich, a bologna and Swiss melt from a restaurant called Jeff's. This meant that whenever Stephen Rothstein got hungry, American Airlines had to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars in fuel, taxes, and other costs, not to mention lost ticket sales, to fly to his bologna and Swiss melt, which is a lot of money, especially for a sandwich with bologna, a meat so bad that its name literally means nonsense. I mean, come on, if you're gonna fly across the country, at least get salami. And it wasn't just Rothstein. A lot of people use their passes much more than expected. One pass holder, Mike Joyce, once used his pass to fly round trip to London 16 times in 25 days. Keep in mind too that back in the 80s, when the pass was first offered, flying cost a lot more than it does now. When you adjust for inflation, the cost of flying is now about 50% less than it was in 1980. Soon, American Airlines realized that they had made a mistake. They estimated that super travelers like Rothstein were costing over $1 million.
Dude, you're sitting in the air, dude. You're bloating. Your eyes are your ears are popping, dude. You're stuck. Babies are crying. It's fucking annoying.
Rothstein had traveled over 10 million miles or 16 million kilometers, enough to go to the moon and back 20
Flying isn't fun. Like it's just it's not fun.
Rothstein didn't actually fly to the moon, but it turns out he had flown too close to the sun, and he was about to get burned. It turns out that Rothstein and others would often use their passes to help out complete strangers, giving them unexpected first-class upgrades or helping them get home when their flights were canceled. That wouldn't normally be a problem. Except that in order to have the option to do it, the pass holders would regularly book their companion pass under a fake name, as they didn't yet know who might be traveling with them. Silly made-up names like Bag Rothstein or Benedict Cumberbatch, you know, names that no real human being would ever have. In 2008, American Airlines accused Rothstein and 2 others of fraud and said that by booking under false names, they had broken their
Is this
contract.
him?
Security agents cornered them at airports, revoked their passes, and told them they would never fly on American Airlines again. Just like any red-blooded American would, they all sued, but for Rothstein's case at least, the outcome wasn't clear as it was settled privately out of court. American Airlines stopped regularly offering the unlimited lifetime pass in 1994, though they did offer it once in 2004 for $3 million plus $2 million for a companion pass, for a total of $5 million or $6.8 million today with inflation. At that time though, there were no takers. After all, with $5 million, you might as well just buy your own plane, or you could buy 7% of this other painting of this drippy swirly painting of nothing. 25 people, though, still have lifetime unlimited passes, including Michael Dell, who you might know from Dell Computers, and Mark Cuban, who you might know from Shark Tank, and yelling at referees at Dallas Mavericks games. They can still fly anywhere, anytime, first class on any American Airlines flight, and so long as they don't break the rules, they can do it for the rest of their lives. But let's hope they don't start craving too many bologna and Swiss sandwiches, lest they meet Stephen Rothstein's same sad fate.
That was pretty good video. I enjoyed that.
They'll never sell you a subscription, panic, and then take it away from you is Audible. Don't tell them this though, but Audible's like a really good deal. They should probably panic.
Hashtag Audible. I'm so good with
you can get an audiobook for $0 and 0 cents. That audiobook can be anything, even a 56-hour-long odyssey like Infinite Jest.
Users in the chat room.
FOV is bugged.
Any cuties?